All right, we are back in the studio. Another sort of long-awaited return, really. Honestly, it's been a while. We handled or at least trying to get another session in the past 2 weeks together. We handled that session about as well. I mean, the NFL handles really anything: concussions, domestic violence. So
they don't handle anything well, Christopher.
Exactly. So we're just sort of on par with that, but. Again, back in the studio, we got everyone, the usual crew, including, Jorgito. He's back again. We're excited about that.
The new permanent addition for this season of Next Goal Wins.
Very excited. Very excited.
All right, and as usual, Brennan Saul here as well, and nice teal-level security clearance here.
Yeah, I'm pretty important. It's whatever. Where's your security clearance, Craig?
Oh, it's right
lower on the
shirt. Oh, no, Christopher doesn't have one. He doesn't have a name tag.
Exactly. I'm a little bit too dangerous. I was too dangerous for Wake Radio, and now for this too. So
I mean, first you're too hot for TV, then too hot for radio, and now
exactly
too dangerous for.
He has a face for radio
clearance.
Ha ha ha! Good one, Brennan. Anyway, let's jump right into it, guys. We've got a lot of exciting topics that hopefully aren't too soccer related. So we'll start off with that one. The MLB playoffs, they've treated us to a couple surprises, haven't they? I think most of all the Washington Nationals, who just recently completed a sweep of the St. Louis Cardinals. The oldest team in the MLB right now, this season at least, started out the season 19-31, and now they're in the World Series. What do we make of that kind of a comeback? That's very impressive, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a super impressive comeback. Started out, as you said, 19-33. Everyone counted them out, especially losing Bryce Harper, their all-star outfielder. Now they're rubbing it in his face. But I guess he has a last laugh with his $300 million contract. But I don't know. He is possibly bringing a title back to D.C.
Good for Bryce.
Or title home.
Exactly. And it's very impressive also when you keep in mind sort of how the playoffs can go either way in the blink of an eye, really, because of how close the Nationals were to being eliminated. Honestly, in the wild card game, they had that, as well as the very close brush in Game 5 with the Dodgers. Thanks to somebody deciding that Clayton Kershaw should pitch in the playoffs again. That's just not a great idea. But on the other side, it's one team's been very unfortunate. Honestly. The Yankees have really gotten hard done by, the officials and the league in general. So it's kind of a shame that they're down 3-1 because it really shouldn't be the case, should it, George?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what your excuse was for last night's game. We watched the Astros beat the Yankees, 7-3?
6-3?
6-3?
Maybe, yeah.
It wasn't even a close game, if I'm being honest. It wasn't really even that entertaining. But, it was fun to see Chris's reactions, so I can't complain.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the story for the Yankees is that they haven't been able to do it on the offensive end,
That's
and
right.
Normally they have all those power hitters, but I think the past games they've left 10 men on base and have gone 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position, which you just can't really do in such a big situation, especially against a team like the Astros who have such a strong rotation. So they've been able to get on base, but they just haven't been able to score.
Exactly, yeah. And as you mentioned, they do lead the league in batting average with runners in scoring position, so that's basically the cornerstone of their offense. And without that, they really don't have anything because it's kind of one-dimensional in terms of power.
Right.
Very one-dimensional game plan, it seems like.
Yeah.
That's true, except...
Poor managing, maybe.
Poor managing. I would say, though, it hasn't been the pitching's fault, really, because the Yankees surprisingly have been able to get it together. The starting rotation hasn't been too bad. Tanaka wasn't terrible. He just had one bad inning. Other than that, you just have to score more than 3 runs if you want to win a game, especially against the Astros. So I think that's what it comes down to.
Especially when you rely on offense to win games,
Yeah.
Right. I mean, speaking of pitching, I think last night we saw CC Sabathia make his MLB exit.
That's true.
Pretty sad to see him go out that way with shoulder soreness or whatever
that's a rough one.
Had. But he did get a nice ovation from the crowd. But it got me thinking about how some players have their exit from the game. It's super emotional, right? Last couple minutes, crying on the field or get subbed out early so they can get the ovation. But I don't know, for him it's I'm gonna go out with an injury, but I'll still get the ovation. But probably not how he wanted to go out. So how would you guys want your your professional career to go out?
In baseball terms or whatever sport?
In whatever sport.
If we're doing baseball terms, Is it
I mean,
the
like,
ideal
because that's
scenario?
the absolute opposite of what we saw with Derek Jeter, where he hit that. I guess at his Yankee Stadium.
Walk off.
Yeah, his walk-off double.
Yeah, you
like
can't script that better. So.
Right.
I remember watching that live with my dad, and we never watched the Yankees. And he was like, "This could be Derek Jeter's last at bat." I was like, "All right, let's turn it on."
George with the lucky break to see the great sporting moment in history.
I don't know. Well, it depends what position you are. Because for pitching, it's easy because you have that exit.
Right.
For batting, you can't really tell when it's going in.
That's true. And you can't really get subbed off in baseball.
Like, theoretically, yes, but it's
yeah,
awkward.
but yeah, it is pretty awkward. I guess soccer, basketball, or other sports for it. Or Kobe's last game at home at the Staples Center. Do you remember that? Where he scored 60 points.
Probably because
That's
they gave him
pretty
the ball and
They gave him the ball every time, but it was actually pretty nuts. You should watch the video of the last 5 minutes in the game. He just goes off.
Do they guard him? Or is
they're
very
double
casual?
teaming him, and he makes
Really?
every shot. And it's his old injured self. It's pretty sick. And they come back, and I don't know if they win. I mean, they might still lose, but it was really epic because they were down 15, and then they get within 3.
Well, I guess Brennan's the kind of guy that cares more about solo points than winning. That sounds about right.
I mean, the Lakers sucked anyway.
I mean, he made sure in that IM game, while we were up 8-2 to finish one off and get
Yeah,
himself a goal.
he did. He made the toe poke tap in from about 2 yards.
I would prefer if we didn't discuss the I am soccer game.
George, unfortunately, was on the losing team.
Not my best showing.
Well, he was the standout player from his team, but, I mean, the rest of his team just really couldn't pull it together.
Yeah.
There's
No
only-
excuses.
There's only so much one man can do for a team.
Make me feel a little bit better, but still depressing.
Yeah. I mean, I would be depressed, too, if I got nutmegged by Chris like that.
On a Ronaldo heel. Let the speakers know.
Ball dropping from the ceiling. Chris Ronaldo chops it straight through George's legs.
And it was slow motion too, because I saw it happening, but I just didn't think it was gonna happen. I was like, oh, haha, he's trying to meg me, and then it went through my legs.
Yep.
It's tough looks.
Yeah, you hate to see it, really.
You really do. In this economy too. It's just sad.
You hate to see it.
Well, I mean, those are some of the teams that are at least enjoying some success on the field. Meanwhile, not so successful. I mean, from my and Brennan's hometown of Chicago, I love Chicago so much.
Yeah.
I'm there all the time. And, I was talking with some of the upper management there, and we were discussing some of the potential replacements for Joe Madden. Me personally, I'm thinking the favorite seems to be David Ross, but I'm a big believer in Joe Girardi.
I actually feel the same way. I like Joe Girardi. I mean, David Ross doesn't have history coaching any team, so I think that would be pretty problematic, especially if the Cubs want to
But
make
Aaron
a deep
Boone,
run.
same situation.
True. I think Aaron Boone had a slightly more successful career than Aaron. Maybe not than David Ross. I don't know. If he had that one big home run, right?
Yeah, that's the one thing everyone knows.
Yeah, and then David Ross doesn't have a signature moment, I don't think.
Besides being John Lister's personal servant.
Yeah, basically. But he seems knowledgeable at the game, and it would be a good fit. What? It would be a good fit just because he has been in that culture, and
That's
one
right.
of my concerns with them taking out Joe Madden is he has such a close relationship with all the players, and so to take him out of that situation and then put in some new guy who doesn't know the culture at all, that would be problematic. But David Ross really knows it, and he's good friend. I think Anthony Rizzo and him are super close. That's just my assumption based on Instagram and stuff. But I don't know. It seems like they are. But yeah, I think that the manager-player relationships are better or are more important than people give credit to them to be. So.
But what do we think of the player manager? We just have Anthony Rizzo and Chris Bryant, joint player managers.
Interesting. I mean, I don't know how well that would work in
Poorly.
baseball,
I
but
feel in general it works poorly. I don't really understand the concept of having the pressure of playing in a game and then also managing
I mean,
a team. Like,
Yeah.
it's a full-time job.
It
Like,
works in like League 2 of the
maybe,
English
yeah.
English football league, but like just in like a top tier professional sport, like it just doesn't seem like something that
Yeah.
can work. You have to have like the experience and the age.
I mean, LeBron basically
That's true.
player coaches whatever team he's on at this point.
We all know he's really well
I mean-
informed on every issue, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
True. But yeah, I don't know. I think that David Ross would be a good fit, but I also like Joe Girardi's experience to go back to the. But Madden did find himself another position in his hometown of LA, which
That's
is
true.
nice.
But I think the Angels are just hopeless either way.
They are, but I mean, Mike Trout is just still killing it.
Insert like SpongeBob meme. They have Mike Trout. Like great, but like you have to add something else.
True. Maybe this offseason
Maybe.
they'll be able to get some players, but we'll see.
Exactly. Well, that I think Joe Girardi is also being pursued by the Phillies as well now. So I think it's the Cubs. They'll have to act soon if they really want him.
Yeah, and I think did the Mets fire their coach?
I think they did.
Because I think Beltran was also
I like that.
possibly in the running, like talks to Cubs, but
Yeah.
he denied, like he didn't even give the Cubs a chance because he just wants to go for the Mets. I'm pretty sure.
One of my favorite players in MLB 2K8 for the Wii.
Really?
Carlos Beltran
Yeah,
for sure.
good call.
And Jose Reyes, like pre-domestic violence, was pretty good too.
Yeah, he was so fast.
Oh yeah, great player in his day.
Yeah, and Howie Kendrick. So Howie Kendrick
Oh yeah.
for the Nationals. So he's still playing, I guess. Like, do you remember who he was? Okay, so like he's been in the MLB for like
As long as I remember.
so long.
Really?
But he hit the one of the go-ahead home runs or like a grand slam to just like open up that game against
It was the
the
game-winning
Dodgers.
Grand Slam. Yeah, he's 36 right now,
Yeah,
but it feels like he's like at least 40 something.
impressive. That's why baseball is cool because you can play until you're so old.
Yeah, because it doesn't take much athletic ability. Hot take.
You don't think?
Speaking of CC
It's like
Sabathia.
Well, I mean-
golfers play until they're like 70 on the senior tour. So I mean, like,
Yeah, but it's a senior tour.
well,
Specifically
yeah,
senior.
well, then you also have like players like Phil Mickelson, who's like almost 50 now, and he's still on the PGA tour and killing it. So.
Did y'all hear about the field goal kicker for like the Bears? Or I think it was the Bears. They signed a field goal kicker that's like 48, 47.
Did they really?
Yeah, he's super old. He's,
Jeez.
he's yoked though. He looks like he's like 30. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, I guess.
Yeah.
For certain positions in certain sports too.
Christopher and I were
age-
having this
age is just a
conversation.
number, right, George?
Chris and I were having this conversation yesterday about like practice, like because I mean baseball players like can't really like they have practices, but it's like not that intense. What was that Onion article title?
Oh yeah, there was an article. It was when Chris Bryant got hurt. I think he like had like strained something in his leg, but it was like Cubs trainer recommends Chris Bryant rehabs by participating in light physical activities such as baseball. Which I mean, yeah, you have to give him that. That was a good one.
Yeah, that's
funny.
That's fun. Yeah. But on to some things that might take a little bit more physical energy. The NBA, I don't know when it's supposed to start, honestly, because I feel like they've been playing preseason for like 2 months now.
Yeah.
And more people seem to be getting hurt. Honestly, I'm not going to say I'm happy Zion Williamson got hurt, but I'm tired of hearing about him.
Yeah, but I mean now we're just gonna hear about him more.
Nah,
he's
that's
gonna
true.
return this week. He's doing all right, but he actually was having a pretty insane
his preseason
preseason.
was unreal.
Yeah.
But what does unreal mean? Like,
I mean, if you watch
Like-
the highlights, there's not much defense, if I'm being honest. But then again, there's not much defense in the
Yeah,
NBA,
yeah.
so it doesn't
True.
matter. Like they're putting in minimal effort, preseason and regular season.
But like against the Bulls, he just had like 29 points and I think was 12 of 13 from the field, which is like impressive. Like whenever a player shoots that well, but it's all probably dunks and like layups.
It's not dunks anymore, actually. Like,
Really?
I've been watching his highlights, and he's hitting like mid-range jumpers, lots of layups, but like mid-range jumpers too.
Damn.
but see, imagine Ben Simmons now has a jumper. I think that elevates him to like God status.
Yeah, I wouldn't say God status. I think it improves his game and helps the Sixers out.
He's
a lot.
already a top 10 player without the jump shot.
No way.
Absolutely. His ball distributing ability is non-pari. And
Yeah, But I think he is a good ball distributor, but that's only because there are very few people that pass now in the NBA. Like, all the good players just shoot. Like, they don't need someone to
can't
pass
distribute.
them.
They don't
Yeah,
have skills.
Fundamentals.
that's true. Like, someone else who's, I think he's underrated for his passing ability is Lonzo Ball.
No, he's overrated for sure.
It's overrated on all aspects.
No, he's
you
not.
watched him play.
His
I watched him
beard
play with the
overrated.
Lakers.
Well,
and
because everyone was like, this guy, like, because his dad just made him like, all right, he has to be amazing or else he's gonna.
Right.
But he's not
honestly,
amazing.
He's
Well, I mean,
a
it was
good
his rookie
mediocre
year.
player.
His rookie year, he's
know.
pretty good. I
Imagine
think he's gonna
him-
be really good with Zion Williamson.
Imagine him guarding Zion. Who do you think wins that?
I mean, obviously Zion wins because he's like 6'8" and like
Yeah, Lonzo Ball's
500
not
pounds.
a beast. Like I feel like to
No,
be
he's not a beast.
top tier player in the NBA right now, you have to be like a beast. Look at Giannis.
True,
That guy's scary. Imagine Lonzo guarding
Yeah.
Giannis.
but like,
That
yeah,
wouldn't happen, but
no, I don't think Lonzo will ever be a top 10 player by any means. But
you think he'll be a top tier player?
yeah, I think so.
That's
I
a
don't see it.
cold take.
Yeah. We'll throw some ice on that one.
I think that because the Lakers weren't the right fit for him. I don't think.
No.
Like I don't know. LA is just too big of a market, and everyone had their eye on him. And now that he's on the Pelicans and he has Zion, like someone else who can just like take more of the show away from him, I think he's gonna shine. Because it's such a young core, and they're gonna build chemistry together.
Right, but I don't know. I just for some reason I'm not really buying into it.
Yeah,
I don't love that because I mean his game is too one dimensional. Like
Lonzo Ball.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean he's like decent passer and decent defender. Like he's not a great shooter. He's okay.
yeah, but he's not top tier like in any aspect for me really. Like
Yeah, that's true.
He's a decent bench player, you know. I think.
Oh my god.
I think the Sixers could add him as like a backup point guard, maybe like third string or something like that. He'd be decent.
I think he's a starting point guard. I think you're insulting him.
That's just dude. Imagine having a point guard as Ben Simmons. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean that's impressive, but like also imagine a point guard is James Harden.
He doesn't pass.
Yeah, but he scores like more points and is on a better team.
Did y'all see James Harden's new move?
Yeah, it's
Preseason?
insane.
How do you guard that?
Foul him.
Yeah, I guess. Push him out of bounds.
Yeah, but I mean he hasn't been hitting it in game, which is kind of
But
disappointing.
I mean, he's got to practice. I don't blame him for like if you can grind
Yeah.
that and he can get that move
Yeah.
down, like it's gonna be unreal.
But that's also so epic that he's just like creating his own move now.
Yeah.
Like, cause he already made the step back popular in the NBA,
Mhm.
and now he's just like creating his own move. Like that's like the equivalent of like some soccer player just like working on some skill move, and then like creating their own skill move and then just putting it in game. And
The Balassi flick. Remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah.
What's
That
that?
was really cool. Yannick
he like
Balassi.
goes past the ball and then turns like 270 and like uses the outside of his left foot to spin around.
Yeah.
Just like overruns the ball, spins and goes the other like you're doing a 90-degree right turn, except he does like 270 degrees left to do it.
Yeah.
oh, that's kind of sick.
Yeah, it's really sick.
it's pretty pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
5-star skill move. in
Yeah,
FIFA.
yeah, and they like
Yeah.
added it mid-year, I think, for one of
Yeah.
them, just because he was having that insane season and he just got super popular.
Where is he now?
Nobody knows.
Third tier, I think. Third tier.
He
of,
was
like,
on Everton
Belgium.
last season.
He might have just been injured for a while.
He was hurt for a long time. But yeah, now he plays for Sporting
Is he still
CP.
the?
Sporting CP.
Is he still the dude that like is the best at that skill move, or is someone taking his skill move and is now better at him?
Let's see.
What
is it called?
Then
I don't know how popular it was. I mean,
Yeah,
I just remember it
it's
happening.
pretty impractical if you watch him.
Oh,
too.
really?
Like when he
It's-
gets it in game, it's very cool. But
Yeah.
it is, like Grace said, going 270 degrees
It's just like
instead of
if
going
the
90.
defender is tracking you down the wing and they're like close behind, you like you overrun the ball, stop it, and then cut. So it's just like a way of getting the defender to run past you.
Yeah.
oh, is
like-
that him?
Yeah.
Yes, that would be him.
Yep, that's it.
That's pretty sick.
Not bad.
We'll be adding the clip in on the YouTube. I
Yeah.
hope.
Looks like Ericsson's the one getting.
I think it was against Tottenham that he first
Got
pulled
it.
it off. Insane.
feel like Tottenham's a good, place to start or to figure out where to get your moves from.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Before we move on to the Prem, though, I have to ask the overarching NBA,
Yeah.
NBA
Oh, yeah,
question. Chris,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on LeBron James' comments on the Hong Kong protests?
I think it's it's very interesting because he's generally someone, at least not, I wouldn't necessarily say composed, but people will give him like composed answers and like he'll know what to say.
Yeah.
Because obviously he has a lot of interests outside of the U.S. with Nike and whatnot and image rights.
Mm-hmm.
But this time, I don't know who told him to say what, but he clearly was not ready for the question that he had to have known he was going to get asked
Right.
for weeks at this point. And yeah, he decided to explain it away by saying that Daryl Morey, the GM of the Rockets, who has degrees from MIT and Harvard, was, quote, misinformed on the issue. But don't worry, LeBron, graduate of St. Mary's High School in Akron, Ohio, was very much informed on the issue.
Which is so funny because I felt like libs used that whenever they were talking about when Trump would say, oh, NBA players don't know what they can't endorse politicians. They have no idea. And they'd be like, they're educated. You don't know what you're talking about. These guys know what they're talking. And then this happens and now it's just complete opposite.
Yeah.
Well, I think
sides.
so China wanted the NBA to fire Daryl Morey. Mm-hmm. And obviously they're not just going to fire a GM because of that. That'd be way too extreme. I feel like this was kind of some scheme by the NBA to have LeBron, the biggest player, support China. It's okay, this is a trade-off. We had this big guy talk about support Hong Kong, and now we'll have this other big guy support China.
There's no way LeBron would,
No.
People are saying this is ending his legacy. I've heard talks of, this is one of the most embarrassing things, that has ever happened. People are ripping him apart.
It's
for
gonna
this.
blow over in 2-3 weeks.
I don't know because the Hong Kong protests have been going on for months. So
Yeah,
it's
that hasn't blown
until
over.
until that blows over, this isn't gonna blow over. And LeBron's gonna be the center, talking piece of it the entire time.
And to your point, Brennan, the glorious Central Committee of the Communist Party of the People's Republic of China has denied this accusation.
Oh, really?
And I think we should take their word for it because,
They're very trustworthy.
I mean, when you ask them, hey, do you have those camps out in the West? No, we don't have them. Oh, well, we have these images. Okay, well, we do have them, but it's not what you think. So they've established trust. They've demonstrated their value.
Yep.
The Dennis system. What's the Chinese system for the NBA?
China system.
It's just take power and don't submit.
Control the people. Harass the people.
Don't relinquish power.
Yeah. What's the I?
Instigate.
Imprison political dissenters. Never relent.
Never relent.
And always oppress. There's the China system.
I'm glad we have a nice lively debate on both sides here. Giving China a real fair viewpoint. No, but I did. There were videos of people in Hong Kong burning LeBron jerseys.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Did you guys see the video of his 2K20 cutout scene that he has? There's one during career mode where you're a young player and you're on a plane with him and he's like, it's important that everyone's voices are heard. Democracy is everything. It's essentially the exact opposite of what he's saying.
That's actually pretty funny.
And he wrote those lines for 2K and it made a big pub stunt with it.
Jeez. That's horrible.
Yeah. For me, it's who is in LeBron's camp that is just an idiot? I thought by now that his manager would have thought in advance, Chris was saying, they had to have known for weeks that this question was coming. They could have drilled a good answer into him, even if he couldn't think of it on his own. He should have had a prepared answer.
I mean, whoever's in his camp who's an idiot, to your point, is whoever told him the beard looks good, honestly.
Yeah, but it compensates for his hair loss.
Maybe, but at the same time,
Scraggly.
you could throw him in, I don't know, I feel like he'd fit in anywhere, if you
Jesus.
you know where I'm going, but yeah. This one's coming out.
We're gonna cut you off there.
But yes, he would fit in anywhere in a mosque with that. But we'll edit this part out.
Maybe he's converting.
No.
He could be converting. You never know.
Whatever. Okay.
No, but okay. So obviously he's getting a bunch of hate for what he said.
Right.
But my thing is yes, like I as the biggest figure in the NBA and just like one of the biggest celebrities in the world, he has responsibility and like he should use his platform to talk about like these subjects. But at the same time, it's like I understand people giving him hate, but it's like he's like an NBA player. It's like he doesn't need to sound smart or comment on anything because his role in the world is just to play basketball and have people idolize him for that. Like I don't value his opinion on the Hong Kong China thing at all. So I don't understand why it matters.
Yeah, I'm with you there. It really shouldn't.
But
I don't know. Go ahead, George.
But it discounts any like role that public people have over like anything. Like if we say that now, then we're just like no one's gonna be able to stand up for anything. You know, I feel like that's one way that just the government isn't heard like on a big stage.
True.
I don't want that to go
Well, I know,
away.
but like, would you rather just have celebrities telling us what to think?
Like, I don't want celebrities telling me what to think, but if you think of, like, mainstream media, it's, like, celebrities and government. And I kind of feel like stupid people, like, watch media all the time. And if they could get a differing view, that'd be great. Like,
yeah.
I just don't know what to believe on this certain issue. What does Taylor Swift think?
Yeah, thankfully for all of us, she did break her silence.
She is a firm Democrat.
So I was finally able
Sorry,
to reaffirm my views after she did. I was very unsure for a while.
Yeah, no, but I think that's your point. It's like he should have someone in his camp that like is well educated on the topic and can feed him an answer about it. But at the same time, I don't really care what he has to say about it.
That's true, but as you say, like it's definitely a different issue, especially as it relates to China, because there's a certain script that you have to abide by, and Hollywood's been having to do that for years now.
Right.
Like whenever they have to tread certain lines, like some actors, like they just can't really go there anymore. They don't say anything anymore. Yeah. And especially if you're representing an institution like that. And interestingly enough, the NBA, as opposed to some of the other institutions that have gone against the will of the PRC, they actually have some sort of leverage, honestly, because of the fact that they are big, but it still doesn't really cut for the losses that they have made, which Adam Silver said were substantial. So it's still definitely an issue.
Because I don't know what the Chinese market is like, but I feel like it'd be hard to believe that so many people would just stop watching basketball because of what LeBron or
well, they'll stop watching because they'll stop showing it.
Yeah, they'll stop being on TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't see something if the government doesn't want you to see it.
They say no more basketball, no more basketball.
No.
I
didn't think about that one.
South Park made that one episode. It's wiped from the internet in China.
Lots of actors that have like stood with Hong Kong, their movies are getting blacklisted right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just any movie that they're in.
You know what would be great though is like if you wanted to do a good like trolling movement is just get as many people as possible to support Hong Kong, so just like all Western media is just like gone in China.
Yeah, but that doesn't help them.
So
good prank, Gray.
Hey man,
it's gonna make your summer trips a little less entertaining.
No, I think it's more entertaining because then you just hear things. You're like, well, I don't think so. Yeah, but it's certainly a unique issue as opposed to other ones where celebrities would just give their opinions on that. But interestingly enough, we haven't seen this really affect any other markets like soccer. Like obviously, like you have big stars like Ronaldo and Messi, who everyone knows in China, but like they haven't really been forced to like make comments on that. And interestingly enough, I don't feel like a lot of like soccer players or like maybe even baseball players like as well. They don't really make a lot of social comments or political comments.
Yeah,
I don't think they should.
They shouldn't. No,
Yeah.
right. And
like,
they don't.
There's only negatives that can come from like picking a side in something like that.
Except when Griezmann wears blackface for Halloween.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw that one.
Yeah.
Sometimes
that was
those European players will just like
they'll just
do
it.
stuff like that.
They just like, oh, I'm not supposed to. Like, bro, come on.
Yeah.
Griezmann, you knew what you.
Yeah, that's not good. But I mean, from what we've talked about on the show previously, it does seem like soccer still has a bunch of racism problems in it more than any other sport.
I think it's
honestly shocking.
mostly
I mean, it was
Central
Bulgaria.
Europe.
Bulgaria was
Yeah.
the reason all that stuff's
It was
coming out.
Italy.
recently.
Yeah, but also
It was
Italy and England,
Italy.
right?
It was Lukaku. Inter Milan was playing in
yeah.
Nice, which is like a big team. Like they were playing in Nice, and they were throwing banana peels on the field, like making monkey sounds when he's taking a penalty kick. Like if that happened in America or like in any other sport, I feel like that would just be
Yeah.
that would just be
And then in Bulgaria, like at the last England game, there's people throwing up Roman salutes in the crowd in response to like English cheers of "You're racist, we've scored on you, ha ha," like however they managed to say it. But yeah, there's definitely some big problems with that going through Europe even still.
Yeah, definitely. But I think we can just accept the fact that like Italy's just racist in general. Like we'll just we'll push past that one, especially Inter Milan. I feel like Inter Milan has so many problems with that.
Yeah. I agree, but I feel like maybe we shouldn't just be like Italy's racist. Maybe we could be like, hey, maybe you guys shouldn't be so racist. Like, this is an issue because it's affecting all of your black football players. Like, imagine how Lukaku feels after that. I don't know.
I feel like I am made to be the enemy. That's what he said. The same thing with like Mourinho and Solskjaer. Like,
That's true.
I'm not saying like that this one is a problem. This is obviously like a legitimate problem, and
Yeah.
there's substantiated evidence. But he has claimed victim
That's fair.
many times before. Same with Alexis. Like what's with all these people?
Alexis has been playing for Inter Milan. I don't know. I watched the Champions League. Inter Milan played a really good team. It was Inter Milan against Juve, I think, or something like that.
Barcelona. I think.
Barca.
Yeah.
And they had the game won. It was 1-0 going into halftime.
2-0.
2-0.
They were up 2-0.
Yeah.
2-0. And they lost it, right?
They ended up drawing the game.
Yeah,
It was
drawing the
2-2.
game.
Yeah.
Okay. But it was like, they played really well. And
But-
Sanchez played well as well.
Didn't he get
Yeah.
hurt playing for
So
Chile
it's
like
something
last
about
week?
Man U then.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a few injuries.
Transition.
over the national
No, I
break.
think there's a substantial injury actually.
Oh, for Alexis?
Yeah,
Oh no.
like
At his age, that could be a career ender, Jeff.
his career ender was moving away from Arsenal.
Yeah.
True, honestly.
Yeah, it was.
Except for when he played piano.
Yeah.
That
was-
was
the peak
peak
of
Alexis
his
Sanchez
career.
when we
and then he
signed
made
him
his
to
debut
United.
for Man United, and it was just gone.
For our listeners, please reference YouTube video Alexis Sanchez announced signing for Manchester United. It's one of the cheesiest and worst signing videos I've ever seen.
What do you do?
He's playing what is he playing, like a United song or something?
I think so.
He's like dramatically playing piano, and they like pan up on it, like, zoom in. Shout out to Mary Dalton.
You know, it's like one of those.
Wait, no, is that a
terrible
pan or a
puns.
tilt?
Oh, it's a pan and scan. Actually.
Gotcha.
Oh my god.
And it was, of course, it was like hashtag Alexa Red or
Yeah.
something like just
So
those
it's
terrible
doing
hashtag puns that they try to make with United.
Trying to get it trending.
Yeah.
Alexis is a red or something like
Like,
that.
hashtag Fred. Like, dude, I don't care that we signed a dude named Fred.
Who has also been
Just garbage.
completely
Fred.
awful. Signed from Shakhtar, and somehow we made an announcement video for this guy. We paid like $60 million for him
Yeah.
too. We paid oh my
Well,
goodness.
like people just hear, oh, United wants him, double the price, because we'll pay it. Like,
Oh,
Speaking of United, I think we should go ahead and get into some score predictions for Liverpool versus United on Sunday because it's not looking good
no,
from
no.
a United fans'
yeah.
perspective.
all right, 90th minute, Liverpool penalty. Romero saves, keeping the score 4-0 to Liverpool.
I agree.
So, all right, who's out injured? Martial's still
Martial
out.
and
Is
Pogba
Pogba's still
are
out.
both
Is Rashford
out.
still out too?
Rashford's in.
Oh, he's back.
Rashford's in.
He's
Ooh.
back.
Yeah, he does like a
Not
goal
like-
against Liverpool.
Yeah, but he's been very
does.
formidable
He
in front
does
of goal
like a
this
goal.
season. So
If anyone would like Rashford, I'm willing to trade him in the Fantasy Premier League. I'm just putting that one out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, not when they're playing Liverpool. I don't know. Van Dijk will probably lock. If Van Dijk 1v takes Rashford, like man mark, there's no one else on United who's going to score on Sunday. So,
yeah,
boom, game plan. You're welcome, Klopp.
I'm sure Klopp is listening in.
thank you, George.
He's an avid listener.
That sounds a good idea.
We've heard.
Jurgen Klopp's cool. I think he's the coolest coach in the Premier League.
I do too. I think my prediction going off that, I say 5-1.
5.
5-1.
5-1.
Holy
You
Because
think
then if
crap.
we get destroyed, I'll be like, oh, I predicted it, you know? But I won't feel as bad about it.
True.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I said 4-0, so it's the same margin of defeat.
Damn. You guys really think you're gonna be that bad?
Have you seen Liverpool this year?
Dude, have you seen
Yeah.
United play?
But there's no faith in the team.
I mean, it's like a good team playing a bad team. That's like the
True.
fact of it.
Although United's like few wins have come against, like
Well
we
played.
beat Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think we tied Tottenham, right?
Yeah, but it's Tottenham.
Yeah, they're also
It
bad.
is Tottenham.
Also, Chelsea's bad.
We beat who is it? Well, I mean Leicester's like third or something still.
Yeah.
We beat them.
Leicester's good.
Leicester's
good.
going this season. They're
Actually, Arsenal are third, so thank you very much.
okay. So then Leicester are fourth.
James Madison. He's
Dude.
looking good.
I was telling you, I picked him in fantasy, and you guys were like, I've never heard of him. Don't
Also,
like him.
Nah,
Soyuncu, like I made that pick. You guys were like, "Who's this guy?" And I was like, "It's this Leicester defender. He started off great."
Watch him play. He is like the cheekiest defender on
Yeah.
the ball. He loves like fake crossing it. Like a striker will be bombing down, press him, and he'll fake a pass back to the keeper and then like try to nutmeg the
Yeah,
striker.
he's so cheap. It
He's
will
really cheeky.
probably bite him in the ass eventually, but like he's
want
fun to
Pereira.
watch.
But that's beside the point.
Yeah, post your comments. What can Brennan get for Rashford and Pogba in a trade?
I mean I offered him Rashford and Pogba for Firmino and Zaha. I think that's pretty fair.
I don't think he upgrades anywhere on that trade.
But it's not about upgrading. It's about like team upgrade, not individual player upgrade.
I mean, if Pogba gets back from injury and catches form, then I would consider it.
Oh,
Like,
so
he's
you want me to trade you
You're
Pogba
giving
when
me
he's
no
really
one.
good?
You're giving me no one right now because Rashford's not scoring on Sunday.
How do you know?
Because he didn't score last Sunday. And
It was
and
Newcastle.
we played Newcastle. They're just not going to feed him the ball. Like, we don't have a good enough 11 to feed him the ball.
Yeah, he's not getting any service.
No way.
And
He
it just, like his free kicks at this point are just going to be out of
Terrible.
the fucking stadium.
Yeah.
So
He had the least amount of touches on the pitch in the first half against Newcastle of any player. Like, worse than goalkeepers, worse than left back, right back, least amount of touches.
Damn.
I want some like
I wanna
United
get
fan
rid of
TV like after these games. Like I feel like it'd be entertaining now.
That would
Yeah.
be interesting.
Except it'd be like a bunch of like
Yeah,
naked
just be
dudes.
tourists.
Yeah.
Yeah, the experience was great. Happy to be here.
so good to see my team.
Yeah. So if United loses, which it sounds like we're pretty confident they are,
That's Sunday, right?
what they possibly go down to what, like 15th place?
Two
let
points
me
off relegation.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
The relegation.
let me pull.
they're
up
really
the
on their deathbed
table.
here. Like, what is a mid-table finish for United seriously mean in terms of like the club's future?
Financially, it means like probably $40 million less or something. No, probably more than that because I think
It
it's
has
like
to
a
be more than
15
that.
mil gap
Because
between
that's
each.
no Champions League, no Europa League.
I mean, yeah, unless
Realistically, we're gonna finish Europa League. We're gonna bounce back. We're gonna spend out the
like
wazoo.
Yeah, but who
over
wants to
Christmas
join?
break. I mean, no one wants
it's-
to join,
it's
but
still
everyone likes
United.
money.
It's still United. They still offer like boatloads of money.
Why would you want to play at United? That's what I don't
That's-
get.
yeah, that's
The
what I'm
older
thinking.
I get, and the more I realize we just have fake fans. Like,
Yeah.
For all the United listeners out there, like, there's
Yeah, but you still fill up the stadium.
You fill up the stadium of tourists every
Yeah.
single game, and it's different tourists every time. And no one living in Manchester can afford the tickets to Old
Nope.
Trafford because people fly directly into Old Trafford just to watch United play.
I know when I went, we had to get like we were ordering tickets a year in advance,
Yeah,
and they were just sold out.
yeah.
Dude.
And they're super expensive. I remember. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the only way to get tickets was like you had to get some like VIP package,
Mhm.
and then even still you're in the nosebleeds. You just get like some crappy dinner beforehand.
That's what I'm saying. You could raise a lot of transfer funds by stop giving Sir Alex Ferguson free tickets.
Every game, he's disappointed. They show
Yeah,
him
they-
for a second, and he just looks really depressed.
He's like, why did I leave?
Why does he keep coming back?
Yeah,
Why does he keep
that's-
showing his
Like,
face?
get a new hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Support a different team.
Go back to
Sir
Scotland.
Alex Ferguson becomes Liverpool fan.
Like you don't see like Arsene Wenger showing up to the Emirates every week. Like
Like,
yeah,
dude.
this is what I want to do in my free time.
Just go back to like Aberdeen, like the
Yeah.
like your original team, man. Like
SC United of Manchester.
FC United of Manchester, yeah, the non-league.
I heard Klopp might terminate his contract after it expires because he hates the weather in England so much. That's what I've heard, yeah.
Is it that much better in Germany, Klopp?
Apparently.
You get
Well,
like
why
what?
does he care? He could just vacation like every week. Oh, I guess not. He has to.
No.
Every week. Oh my God.
He's
I mean, he has so much
working
money.
10 months out of the year, and
And
like
he's probably working like, what, 80 hours a week? Like, I imagine he just stays up late, like, watching films.
No,
But do you think he
Guardiola.
needs
He
to?
knows everything. Do you think he needs to?
At this point, like, Liverpool is so good. Like, obviously, he doesn't want to just, like, not do anything.
But you don't
like,
get to the top and then just rest
True.
on your laurels. Otherwise, you'll fall off.
True.
United.
Yeah. You sit too
You
long.
too. Get out of here,
Yeah.
Arsenal.
You sit
No.
too long on the perch, and somebody comes and knocks you off that.
Because
perch.
everyone else is rebuilding. Everyone else
Yeah.
is like putting in the work.
Yeah. So United fell off the perch, and City resting on it for right now. But Liverpool.
You guys think Mo Salah's going to play?
Is he still injured?
I've heard he's gonna.
I read he practiced.
Mhm. Like a solo separate session is what I heard by himself.
Mm.
He's like has his own.
Because he was
training.
in timeout. Mane was upset he was stealing goals.
Yeah. What is the Mane Salah beef that's going on?
There's only
Such a
nothing there.
pundit. Get out of here.
Yeah.
There's nothing to make of it.
For me, it destroys the team completely.
Yeah.
I get pissed. If,
Liverpool are downtrodden. They're out.
Mm.
There is no hope for this team.
Give it
left.
1 month, fire sale. All 3 of them are gone.
I feel like I legit get just as pissed as Mane got. Like if Gray didn't center a ball, that,
Yeah.
and Gray would totally just shoot it. Like
That's what I did. I just
it's like a very valid decision for a striker to take it if he wants to take it. You know, they're in there for goals.
Yeah. Is there any catching Liverpool? I mean, they're already 50% more points than any other team. And, I mean, 24 to 16 is the gap.
If
in
City-
points.
What? 8?
8 points.
Oh.
My hot take is that if City stays healthy and Liverpool gets injured a little bit, because part of the reason City couldn't keep up is because of injury reasons. De Bruyne, like both the Silvas, like if they're at full capacity health, then I think they rival.
So what you're
Liverpool.
saying is, Man United players should just go in for the most crunching tackles possible
Exactly.
on Sunday.
Do we really want City to win the league?
Not again.
Yeah.
Although, like the old true fans would definitely say, no, fuck Liverpool.
Yeah.
We want, we don't care about City. They're just fake money anyways. But I
We're
mean,
fake
like,
money now, though. So
we are too. So yeah. We're just less like all of a sudden about it. We were just like, we'll just feed it in. But
Yeah, but that's an 8-point gap. Liverpool were up by 7, in January or something? Last year?
That's true.
December, maybe?
yeah, well, I think they briefly had a 7-point.
And they had a chance to go 10 when they played City
Yep.
and lost.
Yep.
Went
Yep.
to 4.
They had a
Have Liverpool and City played this season?
it was a game in hand 7-point
No, I
gap
don't think
though.
they have yet.
No, they have not.
No.
Okay.
So, yeah.
No,
I
they-
said this. I think like
City
those two
wins
games
both
would
those.
really
Let's see when the Liverpool City games are actually.
The Classico just got moved.
I heard
Yeah.
that.
They-
That's wild.
because of what was it? Safety concerns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always safety concerns.
I mean, yeah, it's a
Spain.
classic.
No, I think something similar. Could you film? Does anyone know really the details of what's happening in Catalonia right now?
Like a bunch of the leaders of the people who set like the Catalonian vote for like independence, which was like deemed illegal by the
Right.
government.
I remember
They threw them like they just like sentenced them all. Like
They did.
yeah,
Jeez.
Pep
Just, like,
came out with a statement.
What'd
That
he
was
say?
kind of shocking. He stood with Catalonia.
Oh,
He was like,
interesting, yeah.
"I am pro democracy. You can't put people in jail that like are just trying to
Yeah.
protest.
Yeah. Spain does have the history of being a little bit like
They're sneaking in
fascist,
China, I
but
guess."
I mean, whole 70s thing. They were pretty.
Well, while we were all for abroad, actually, our freshman year was when all those Catalonia protests were going
That's right.
on.
Yeah. And the independent state
Yeah.
of Catalonia existed for 8 seconds.
yeah.
Did you guys see the Denmark-Switzerland game?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
big,
Denmark got a
big win.
crucial win.
Crucial win.
1-0.
And another win against, like, Georgia or Moldova or something. Like
They got
halfway through the week, we stomped them.
yeah. So yeah, like they had a very bad draw, I think, against Georgia in like the away match, and beat them on the way. So even though Denmark's got like the better results, I think they tied Ireland though. So like it's still like very sketchy. They have to win their next 2 games.
Really?
Even still.
What?
Really? No, because I thought...
Switzerland dropped, though. We're way ahead of the Swiss.
But they're only like
4?
they're-
They're like 4.
No. I think they're only 2 back.
Is Shaqiri hurt?
Group B. Just search up the Group
Is
B
Shaqiri hurt?
standings.
Because he didn't play against...
Dude, I think they're not playing Shaqiri anymore, actually. I didn't even see
Shaqiri's
Mbolo.
getting old.
All these people that I've been seeing in the Swiss team on the come-up. You know who's a really good Swiss player?
Zaka.
Gray probably knows
Xhaka.
it. Not
Swiss
Xhaka.
player?
Briel.
Right back for young boys.
Oh, what's his name?
Dreadlocks, but they're like blonde. He's super good.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. But yeah, the Group B in the qualifying is really heating up because Denmark and Ireland play in Ireland the last match of the group. And what will probably happen is Switzerland beats like Gibraltar and gets to their like only they'll actually probably get above Denmark on points by like 1 or 2, and then that means Denmark and Ireland are on the same level of points. And what will happen is if they tie, Denmark goes through. Denmark wins, obviously they go through. But if Ireland wins, then Denmark doesn't go through because even though they'll have more points than or like the same number of points as Ireland, they'll like.
How many games are there for the whole thing? Like, do they play 8?
They in that group because there's 5, they play 8. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Denmark has a game in hand on Ireland, and they're level on points. So if Denmark wins out, they win.
But if Switzerland and Denmark win out, they go through.
But what's likely to happen is Switzerland plays like Georgia, or not Georgia. They play Georgia and Gibraltar. So they're getting 6 points from that,
right.
And they'll be above Ireland and Denmark. And what will probably happen is Denmark wins their game, gets the 3 points over top of Ireland. Then Ireland and Denmark play. If Ireland beats Denmark and gets the same number of points, even though Denmark has a vastly superior goal difference, Ireland's going to go through because they have a better record against Denmark.
So it's going to yet again come down to Ireland versus Denmark.
It will
for a final spot. I bet the Irish hate Danes.
Oh, dude! If it happens again, they're gonna hate Danes.
Yeah, there's gonna be a rivalry that gets started.
Yeah.
Why are we in all these qualification groups with them? Like, are we really like that close to them? Like, what?
Yeah, the World Cup one was just like random.
Oh, it was random.
World Cup one was random. Nations League was random, and that was random.
Speaking of,
even if Denmark don't qualify, they actually have another chance because of the Nations League.
Nations League is
Speaking of like national teams playing, didn't the U.S. lose again?
Yeah.
Yes.
First time in like 43 years to Canada.
Apparently our worst showing in like 10 years.
It
was despicable, is what I've heard.
What didn't Pulisic like cry? Wasn't he photographed crying after the game or something? Is that just me?
I hope so. I want our team to like get pissed.
Mad.
Like
they
should be pissed.
Mad.
They should care. Like soccer is coming to America right now. And our national team.
Yeah.
We're gonna be hosting a World Cup in how many years? Like 6?
2026.
Yeah, 2026.
6, 5 years, something like that. Like, I
Just
don't
play
know.
Mexico every game. Then we'll get going.
Yeah, but we've been losing to Mexico. We lost to them over the summer 2 times.
We haven't beaten Mexico in years.
Yeah.
It feels like
They bodied us twice, and I put money on both games over the summer.
On the U.S.
On the U.S.
Why?
Because I had
Mexico's
a bunch
gonna
of
beat
Mexican
the
friends
U.S.
who were like,
every freaking time.
okay.
I think the best
Okay.
moment in like U.S. men's soccer from maybe the past like decade was Matt Miazga, like, and like having that fight with like that short guy on Mexico, where like he goes, "Oh what?" Like,
yeah, that was the best moment.
yeah, that one was good, but other than that, it's been a lot of downs.
Yeah. I mean, you might have to face the fact that we might not even qualify for the next World Cup if things don't get better. Like.
No, I mean it has to because like CONCACAF is so bad. Like
It's bad.
so bad, but we managed to do it.
I know,
already.
but the odds of that happening are so low. Like it can't happen again.
So
I pray.
even though the MLS isn't that good a league, there's still a lot of money funneled into it and like to scouting. And like what the league was supposed to do is scout like pretty much solely in the U.S. to find like American talent, grow the national team. What they've actually done is like go to Central America and scout there. So they've actually been making the CONCACAF better with the
Exactly.
money that's supposed to be making the U.S. national team better.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
What do you want
MLS is-
better, the U.S. team or MLS?
I mean, that's fair.
I would
don't.
rather have the U.S. team be better.
No,
That's because you're from a state with no soccer.
Yeah, I know.
I kind of want an MLS team that's solid.
Like,
But
once North Carolina FC makes that transition, I'll be like, okay, maybe. But I'd still favor national team over club, especially when it's MLS. I mean, come on.
That's
yeah,
something.
It's a good ending.
sorry, our Twitter guy has been pretty bad about posting. We're gonna get better about that one.
I thought I posted something pretty funny recently. We'll see. Check at nextgoalwins_WF if you'd like to see our Twitter, which when I remember it exists, it gets popping.
I think that you should share the password and stuff with us, and then we'll just all start
I've been
posting.
trying to get you guys to sign in for like
He's been saying
years.
that.
Yeah.
Not
Oh
true.
my god.
Wrong. Sad. Okay. All right, well, that's a nice place to stop for the week, I think. I think we'll put a pause on that, and we'll be back after United are demolished by Liverpool thoroughly.
Yeah.
Nice Sunday action.
Hopefully this episode actually gets posted.
Hopefully it does. Yeah,
tonight.
yeah, that would be nice.
Have you posted the other one?
No.
No, we have not. It's still on Christopher's computer.
Nobody asked for it.
Yeah. So we'll try and get both episodes posted tonight then.
Yeah, but we've been handling this about as well as LeBron has
Yeah.
with questions. Because we saw this coming, and we didn't handle it at
Yeah,
all.
we did see it coming. We were like, oh, yeah, we got to make sure that doesn't happen. Oh, it happened.
Anyway, again,
This is Next Goal Wins.
this is Next Goal Wins.
Twitter-
Again,
at
you've heard
next,
more.
Next Goal Wins.
Heard more about the
_
Twitter.
WF. It's been Gray Hyatt.
Brennan Saul.
George Wigington.
And as usual, Christopher Magura. It's been an absolute pleasure in this one, and I hope you take even more pleasure in listening to this one than George doesn't listen to Rebecca Lowe every weekend morning. All right,
That'll about do it.
Auf Wiedersehen.